Welcome back to Allianz Park. We're here for the second semi-final of the 2016 NatWest Schools Cup Vase competition. On display today, we have Pangborne College versus St Ambrose College. And we'll be running you through the teams very shortly. But a bit about the schools first. Pangborne College is just over 400 pupils, set outside Reading. The Thames flows right through the local town. As a result, it's known more for its rowing than its rugby, with today's match representing the furthest the college has got in this tournament since reaching the semis of the Cup back in 2001. St Ambrose College, around 1,000 pupils from ages 11 to 19. It's based in Altrincham in Greater Manchester. The team have played an enormous amount of rugby this season already, with 24 games and counting, while some of the players have even had summer tour experience in Chile and Argentina under their belts as well. It all means that they should be well prepared for this encounter. Now, welcome in the commentary box with me up here, Natasha Hunt, England Sevens player and World Cup winner. And Natasha, it's great to have you with us here. And the second slot, sorry, in the final is up for grabs in the final of the Vase competition. We've just seen earlier today the first one being given to Northampton School for boys. So this will be to play them, two schools who don't often play each other, but it's going to be a tight matchup. And based on the conditions today, what would you say is something which both captains and both coaches will that they should be thinking about and focusing on?
I think, as we saw in the previous game, the territory battle is key. Win the territory and then you can build the pressure and hopefully get over the try line. So I think I'd be looking to see the same sort of thing from there. But it is a good day. It's very dry. It's very crisp. So running rugby would be great to see. And judging by the warm-ups at the moment that are going on, I think that we might be in for that encounter. And
if you're a winger today, you've got to stay warm. You never know when the ball's going to come your way. You don't want to be the guy that drops a pass on the try line at Allianz Park when Twickenham beckons, do you? It's you've got to handle the condition. It is a bit cold today, 6 or 7 degrees. So that's a factor for us, maybe not so much for the players.
No, definitely. I don't think that'll be on their minds at all. It is cold, but as soon as you're in that game, the adrenaline will be going, and I'm pretty sure their minds will be on nothing but the rugby.
So if we take a look at the schools, how they've got to this level, how they've reached the final, it's been a long old slog for some of them, 7 rounds worth of rugby. Pangborne College, as we watch them warm up in the red, they'll be competing in red and white stripes. And this is how they got here. So for Pangborne first, they had a bye in the first round before a couple of away games, walkover and an easy one against Challinger's Grammar School. 3 home games in a row, that's what you want when you're trying to build momentum, and they dispatched Churches and Corkthorpe School as well before they had a massive local derby against Downside School, which they ran out convincing winners in the end, 29 points to 7. St Ambrose route to this stage, they were knocked out of the Cup by Stockport Grammar School. Tight game there at their home, 12 points to the deficit to 15 against them. And after that, well, a few away games and then a couple of home games. A neutral game against Yarm School, edged that one 21 points to 20 before taking on Cooper's Company and Colburn School. And they ran out 20-point winners there. So as we look at St Ambrose College, we'll take a look at some of the players on display as well and run you through who the 1 to 15 and substitutes will be. So firstly, starting with Pangborne, we'll go 15 to 9 firstly. Louis Ingram's at fullback, Cameron Golby-Barr on the right side wing, Will Vaughan at 13, Tom Hills, Matt Atkins at 12 and 11. Zach Leonard and James Costin-Pratt are the halfbacks. Costin-Pratt instantly scored a hat-trick of tries versus Downside in that quarter-final. Watch out for him. From 8 to 1, then it goes James Matthewman, Stanley Walker, Jamie Stelzies, Sebastian Byrne, Jake Easton, John Grieve, Sam Turner, and Finn Slevin. For St Ambrose, then, we'll run you through in the same order. 15 to 9 then, Callum Francis, Tom Hughes, Kieran Dunn, Connor Doherty, Sam Gallimore. The halfbacks, Jacob Daldry and Thomas Walsh. And then the forwards, 8 to 1, will go Connor Booth, Ben Hughes, Thomas Booth, Niall Broderick, Rory Crossan, Alexander Oakes, George Edge, who will captain the side from hooker, and Daniel McDonough. The substitutes today, then. For Pangborne, Stephen Reardon, Adam Harris, Luke Jerram, Ben Jenkins, Ben Hart, Lewis Ellis, and Chris Batchelor. And for St Ambrose, Jack Griffin, Connor Donnelly, Jake Finn, Fergus Greaves slated to play. We'll check on his confirmation. Gregor Nolan, Nicholas Leach, and Rory Devreux. So as we look at St Ambrose College, they look very relaxed, and that'll be very important today, won't it, Natasha? Stay relaxed, enjoy the moment, don't get all het up in the fact that you're playing a professional pitch and all your family and friends are here to watch you. Yeah, definitely. I mean, you play your best rugby when you're relaxed and there's a smile on your face. I know that's the case for me, so they'll just be trying to keep nice and calm, play their game and just see what happens. We mentioned some of the sides is running. Some of them have had some really tough running. If we look in at that school against Yarm School for St Ambrose, in their 6th round, they were up against the 2013 Vase winners, Yarm School. They came through that 21-20. When you come through matches like that, how much confidence does that really bring into when you come into a semi-final? Does everything start again from scratch, or can you draw on that and use it to your advantage? No, you can definitely draw on that, and depending on how that result went, whether they were trying to score at the end of the game or whether they were trying to hold on to the lead, it will stand them in great stead for whatever position they're in today. It's invaluable experience, things like that, how you win, how you keep playing when your back's up against the wall, that sort of thing, and how you keep your composure. So I'm sure they'll be drawing on that today. Pangborne then, as we mentioned, this is the furthest the college has got since 2001. It's not been always known for its rugby, more known for its rowing, but things are changing. They have a London Irish link up now, and several of the players we'll be seeing today for Pangborne are ex-London Irish Academy players, ex-Wasps Academy as well. That's the number 9, James Costin-Pratt. They're changing things at the school, and they even had time this season to have a mid-season tour to Bordeaux in November, where they won 2, lost 2. So didn't have it all their own way down in the south of France, but there we go. And St Ambrose, well, they actually have history in this Vase competition. They reached the semi-final of the Vase in 2013, losing to Felsted School, who went on to the final to become runners-up in the end. So both sides have pedigree. If anything, Pangborne are perhaps the underdogs, given where they've come from, their history with the tournament. They're a bit newer to it. St Ambrose have that history, that recent history in 2013. Obviously with schoolboys rugby, every 2 years there's a cycle and it changes, so can never count on anything. But Pangborne College, St Ambrose College, will be bringing it to you very shortly live from Allianz Park. The next thing we want to talk to you about, Natasha, is it's now probably 5 minutes from kickoff. The coaches and the captains will be taking their teams through the last-minute things. What key things, if you're trying to stay calm, you're not trying to get everyone excited, what are the key messages to get across to players, forwards and backs alike?
I think just to focus on whatever their principles are, making sure that anything they've worked on pre-match, all of their structures, their processes, all of those are nailed on and everybody knows their role. It would definitely be telling each of the boys, do your job, whatever they're good at in that team, they need to bring it today and they need to bring it to their best of ability if they're going to go on to the final. So yeah, definitely those sorts of messages, and then there'll be a bit of last-minute huddles where they're trying to get everyone pumped up just before the beginning whistle.
If you cast your mind back to the moments before you went out on the pitch to play the World Cup final in 2014 against Canada in France, what sort of things were being said in the changing room? Be quite emotional then, so people trying to calm themselves down?
I think everyone has their own ways. Some of the girls do get really emotional, but at the end of the day, especially when you're representing your country, there's nothing that anyone can really say to get you up for it, because it's just the pinnacle of what you're doing, so you kind of get yourself up for it. I think most of the time we're really different songs and just going up and giving everyone a big hug before the game, so I'm not sure the boys will be doing that, but that's definitely what it's like in the girls' changing room.
Well, you never know. And being a scrum half, you're obviously going to be talking more, perhaps more than other players around there, so communication's key for your position. Do you try and G the girls up yourself, or are you more sort of trying to get thinking about their roles, things like that across? I
think it's really individual. So some of the girls will love to have you punching them in the back and come on, like you can do it, that sort of thing. And some of the girls are really like concise messages. So it's just knowing your players and making sure that you're getting the best out of everyone. So that was definitely my role within the team. Yeah, just making sure that I was doing right for whoever I was trying to communicate with.
Make sure you punch the right players.
Yeah. It's never good to punch the wrong ones.
Well, there you go. A very interesting insight into the changing room before that World Cup final back in 2014. Such an amazing event for English rugby, and the country really sort of shook them really about how good English women are at rugby. Obviously here it's a different scenario, schoolboy boys rugby, but do you have any, have you seen any women's girls rugby at schoolgirl level?
Yeah, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the country. More and more girls are playing, especially at school level, which is fantastic to see, and I'm sure it's just going to keep growing and growing as the game progresses.
As we say right now, though, we are poised for the players to come out onto the pitch for the second semi-final in the Vase competition of the NatWest Schools Cup. As our stadium announcer brings the players in, St Ambrose College are on the left in the blue, orange and red stripes, and then Pangborne College on the right in the red, white and blue. So now both teams out on the pitch. St Ambrose choose a huddle, whilst Pangborne go for a straight line. Interesting setups here, all part of the pre-match shenanigans. St Ambrose College getting across those key messages you say. You were talking about, Natasha, as we just keep our eyes on Pangborne, they do turn into a huddle in the end.
It's a nice little tactic from Pangborne as well, because you could see some of the St Ambrose boys looking over their shoulders, seeing what they were doing, so minds are already focused on them rather than on themselves.
Tactics you see in the professional game as well. So moments away from kickoff then. The man with the ball in his hand for Pangborne College is Zach Leonard.
Okay, everyone behind you, yeah.
And in the number 10 role, he's got a job on his hands to control his nerves and play his normal game if Pangborne are to play the way they want to play today.
Time on.
We're under starters' orders at Allianz Park. Leonard kicks off. St Ambrose take the ball in. Up and under first off for St Ambrose. Almost recollected, bounced out though falls into the arms of Louis Ingram's, Pangborne's fullback.
Tackle! Vantage over. Hold.
An early penalty for Pangborne.
Number 4, your hands. Part of the tackle, you must let go. On the 15's fine.
So Ingram's, who collected that first ball, has a first chance to kick with it, but doesn't find touch.
Out 8!
St Ambrose return and do get a lucky bounce. So, first line-out of the match, and as we saw in that first game, the line-outs were all important for Northampton School for Boys, who have reached the final and will await the winner of this match. They used 2 tries they scored from those line-outs. Let's see what Pangborne College
keep this gap for me.
have got in the locker in that regard.
Backwards.
A little bit scrappy. St Ambrose do get over it, but Pangborne retain possession.
Step for me, 2.
Leonard hoiks one up high.
Mark called for there, good bit of play. Getting everyone behind him and reset, go again.
Yes, slightly first pause for breath in this match. Tom Hughes.
St Ambrose forwards look really fired up for this game. Any loose balls, they've been really flooding through on it. And to be fair to Pangborne, they've dealt with it really well.
Front for blue.
St Ambrose, of course, have played a hell of a lot of rugby already this season, so they are a well-drilled side. First clean line at them for Pangborne. They set up the maul.
Blue, keep it up!
Now, as they set off towards the line as well, and so does James Costin-Pratt, who scored a hat-trick in the quarter-final. Great burst from the scrum half.
Yeah.
But St Ambrose to shut it down. Well, we talked about Costin-Pratt. He hasn't disappointed.
No, he's shown his skill, isn't he? 17 tries in the season so far, and with a break like that, you can see why. Fantastic little spot. He's got about 5 meters to work here. Could have potentially left the ball in a little bit longer because they were still going forward, but when you make ground like that, what a decision. Great play from the 9.
And good power in the legs as well for a small lad. Pangborne have to repel a maul here now. St Ambrose control it very well. Tom Walsh, the scrum half for St Ambrose, gives his backs time to get away, but Pangborne are back on the attack already. Matt Atkins there with the long hair, getting hauled into touch slightly around the neck. He certainly felt it.
Put red on the line.
Yeah, both teams just trying to settle into this game now, aren't they? Playing the territory game like we saw earlier in the day.
And Pangborne spoil that line out. George Edge, the hooker and captain for St Ambrose, won't be happy with that. Knock on from his side. Good pressure at the set piece. So you can see Pangborne have a sizable front row. John Grieve, number 3, Sam Turner, hooker, and Finn Slevin in that front row.
Straight for me, yep. Crouch.
No doubt they'll be looking to provide a excellent platform as they did in that first maul for talents like James Costin-Pratt. But they've got to win the ball first as Ambrose turn it over. Tom Walsh, great sidestepping up the field from St Ambrose, flowing play. And it will be a first try for Connor Doherty. Great start for St Ambrose, turnover ball. Into play, bit of juggling involved as well, and Doherty popped up on the left wing and just scooted round.
What What an unbelievable break that is from Tom Walsh. Anything you can do, I can do better, he said to his opposite number. And he's just a great pick from the 8, popped it to his hands, clean set of heels, and he's just gone through. And the timing on the pass from both him and I think it was Kieran Dunn, his 12, absolutely fantastic.
Tom Walsh, there was that initial burst up the centre of the field. And
see the timing on that pass, and then again the timing on that pass. Fantastic bit of play. And then, sorry, Kieran Dunn it is that's gone over. Brilliant first try.
So apologies there, later change in numbers means it was Kieran Dunn rather than Coran Doherty, as you correctly say, Natasha, that went over. And the afters added as well by Jacob Daldry. So, Pangborne, for all their energetic start, are 5 points down at the beginning.
Scrum advantage.
Our scrum, boys, our scrum!
Tom Booth's going to be really disappointed with that one. He didn't really have a lot of pressure on him, and he should have taken that catch, really. I can see how disappointed he is when he got up from the floor there.
Yeah, the blindside flanker. Almost went his way.
Crouch. Bind.
So Pangborne back in enemy territory. Costin Pratt with the ball in his hands. Steps through one, steps through another, does the little scrum half, looks to go himself all the way around. What an individual solo score by James Costin Pratt. Talk about a riposte. That's how to do it.
It's a fantastic try. Again, footwork and pace off the mark. These two nines are going to be at each other the whole game, I think, but what a brilliant bit of play. Great pick from Matthew Mannett from the bottom of the base, cheeky little offload, and then they just can't get anywhere near him, can they?
He is already showing himself to be some player, and Tom Walsh it was who could only shepherd him over the line. They've marked each other's cards, these two nines today. And Natasha, what a delight for someone like yourself, a scrum half, to have this to feast on for the rest of the 70 minutes.
Oh, fantastic. Raw talent at his best, isn't it? Just brilliant bit of skill. Be interesting to see how much they try and run in this game and whether they're going to release their backs as well.
Zach Lennon just needs the support of his colleague to hold it. Has really picked up here at Allianz Park with the wind. That's why Leonard needs an extra hand. Doesn't help him in the end result, though. So the scores stay tied at 5-all. St Ambrose scoring first, Pangborne replying almost immediately. Both scrum halves to the fore in both bits of play. Taken in by Stellies. Looks a little bit scrappy on the floor there, both sides.
Outside.
Well, Ambrose trying to do their best to disrupt. Out on the full, though, from the try scorer.
Yeah, that's great counter-rucking play from St Ambrose forwards. Putting James Costin Pratt off his box kick, and then he's kicked it straight out, so advantage to St Ambrose.
So George Edge in the first line out on the other side of the pitch. He had difficulty finding his man. Can he do it this time?
Maul.
He does.
No, out, Gal.
Connor Booth at the back takes it off. Powerful run from him. Now Walsh sets up the St Ambrose back division. Good handoff as well. St Ambrose are in for a second. Fantastic flowing backline move.
Spot on.
It's almost a try with every touch of the ball at the moment, Sessa.
I know, it's a brilliant game. What we said we wanted running rugby, and we've got that in the first 10 minutes, haven't we? Fantastic line out, like we said earlier. He didn't hit his man initially. Gets up, hits his man. They set up a brilliant drive. Right, every forward involved, and then we look at Kieran Booth taking it off the edge, making some good ground, sucking in defenders, and then fantastic hands from the backs to go over in the corner.
It was Connor Doherty, the man who went over in the end. Good handoff.
Brilliant, unselfish backs play there.
So Pangborne straight back on the offensive, as they had to do after going down to St Ambrose's first score.
Hold.
And now under the cosh again. But last time it didn't take them long for Costin Pratt to work some magic, and they have numbers on this side as well. Matthewman, number 8, taking it on, but not giving the straightest pass. Chip through from Costin Pratt. Had to be taken into touch from Callum Francis there. No other option.
Blue, let's work hard at the tackle to get ourselves away quickly.
Ambrose's defence was absolutely solid. They had a really good line, and they were really on the offensive. That's why we had to put they had to put the kick through. Pangborne, good decision to kick.
More.
Pangborne's loose head prop there, Finn Slevin throwing the ball in, and Pangborne set off towards St Ambrose line. Knock on in doing so, though.
Keep going, boys, collection.
Blue scrum.
Yeah, you saw Jamie really disappointed with that. He was trying to get the ball to the back and set up that drive and more, which was going forward well.
Crouch.
Pangborne.
Bind.
So Tom Wolf with the ball in his hands for St Ambrose. We talked about a duel between these nines earlier after both of them were key in their first side scores. Don't get a chance to get each other's hand.
One, stay out, Red.
But St Ambrose
hold Red.
Seal it off.
Charge it, boys, charge.
And Daldry hooks a clearance out.
Shep, Blue on the line. Yeah. Blue, line's
still
yours.
on for St Ambrose.
That was fantastic back row defence from Walker then. We've seen Booth make some really good ground in a few initial carries that he's had, and he was off the scrum so fast, chopped him down, and
cheers, Shep.
The result is a line out just outside the 22.
Latching onto that is Matthewman. Hit back really well though. They changed direction. Cameron Golby-Barr stepping back inside powerfully. Ex-London Irish Academy player, the number 14. Matthewman again. But
holding on.
Done for holding on to the floor.
Brilliant tackle by George Edge then. Knocked him backwards and then his teammates straight over the ball. If you see here, technically brilliant, and then we're straight in. 2 people on that jackal, you can't move that.
And rolled away really quickly as well, so the referee had no excuse to go against him.
Red on the line, yeah? Cheers. Line's yours, boys.
St Ambrose have come from much further away up in Manchester than Pangborne have, but all sides involved in the Vases today, the Vase matches today, have been staying overnight in Watford. Up here early, our first match here kicked off at 11, of course, so even a 1 o'clock kickoff is still fairly early for a schoolboy match. It's not, both sides showing no
straight, guys.
Negative side effects there, are on fire so far in this match.
sir.
Mark on the 15 here, gents.
George Esler perhaps showing a slight effect there. He failed to find his man there.
Guys, can we start square for me, please? Come square, thank you.
Will have the ball and good territory, 15 metres in.
Crouch.
Pangborne.
Right-hand touch.
Bind. Set.
Ready, ready,
Austin Pratt again goes by himself, but that hasn't stopped him scoring tries in this match so far. That time though,
We'll come back.
ball's gone dead in there
22 or scrum. Have the scrum back.
for a talented player. He'll be very frustrated at that.
Come on, boys, let's get this scrum. Let's make it ours now.
If you're looking to engage with us on social media during this match, we're using the hashtag NatWest Schools Cup. So
Nice and loud as a unit.
do share your thoughts and show your support for your teams.
Seconds.
Both sets of fans for Pangborne
Crouch.
and Ambrose are positioned far hand touch.
Bind.
No doubt he making
Set.
himself very vocal later on.
1, 2, 1.
Walsh digs for it and gets it away to Daldry. Nice backline move again from St Ambrose.
Backwards.
Almost out of a tackle, but went to ground. Walsh picks it up again. This is where he's so dangerous. Fast pace to this game in the first 15 minutes. Good offloads as well. Tom Walsh had to pass it to himself there, but still held on to it. Rory Crossan takes it on.
Hold.
I'm on ball.
Flatter line this time from Pangborne. Stop the ball getting out wide because Ambrose had space there if they'd used it. That space is now closed up and Daldry has to use the boot, but he uses it very well indeed.
Yeah, it's a great kick, that is. He comes around the corner, sees that the Pangborne defence are flying up on him, and he just sits back in the pocket and then kicks the ball, bounces once into touch, and then line out to them. Brilliant bit of play from the 10.
Blue there. Guys, you're outside.
They're outside, boys. They're outside.
In a semi-final, it's so important to play to a sort of structure. You don't want to find yourself out of the game by having thrown the ball around early on too much. But Daldry, both sides have been juggling discipline pay with out-and-out attacking quite well.
Oh,
2 out!
definitely.
2 blue, get out!
Heads at rugby, that is. You want to play to your structure, but ultimately, if there's a massive gap on the pitch, then you want to send the ball there, and that's exactly what he's done.
Back.
Hats off, Daldry.
And Ingram's, that's gone backwards off his boot. Put his side in a little bit of a spot of bother here.
Backwards.
Might work out for them.
Option,
Daldry
yes.
there for St Ambrose. Nothing to do but bundle the Pangborne winger into touch.
Not falling into touch by blue, so the option scrum or line out.
Yeah, Hughes worked really hard off his wing then, and I don't think he expected that ball to come from Gallimore.
Yeah, as we mentioned the wind earlier, and that may have put off Louis Ingrams when making that clearance kick.
Your responsibility this side.
We can blame it on that for him.
On the set,
don't worry about it.
Crouch.
There is a strong right to left breeze today.
Set.
Ready, ready.
Both props my side stood up as well. Do you stay nice and square for me, yeah? Same mark.
Front row of Pangborne's looked so good in the early mauls they put on, and
Crouch.
the squeeze on there as well.
Bind. Set.
Walsh keeps it tight on the blind side, really good hands. Forward pass though from Dunn, the inside centre there, and that was marginal. The tight handling of St Ambrose's backs has been perhaps the standout quality of the match so far, and perhaps why they're 10 points ahead.
Set.
In tight spaces, they really are capable of conjuring up something out of nothing, seemingly.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the timing of their pass has been fantastic so far in the game. They've really drawn the defence and then released it just at the right time that the defender can't get off and then make that next tackle. So that's imperative as they go forward, and something that Pangborne can look to do. We haven't really seen Pangborne's backs on the ball yet, so it'll be interesting to see if they've got the same skill set.
Bind. Set. Playing the ball back.
Well, St Ambrose pack now get
7 red.
A notch on in their cap for that. Penalty at scrum time. They turned down the kick at goal for a nudge to the corner.
Red on the line.
They're showing real intent through their forwards, aren't they, St Ambrose? I think they've potentially had the upper hand over Pangborne so far, so we'll see what happens at this line-out.
So 5 metres out, Pangborne look to challenge in the air with number 6, Jamie Steljays, but it goes to the back of the line, Connor Booth.
Move 5 red. Hold.
Daldry finds his centres running through the middle. Great tackle from Pangborne, though. Dunn fires one out wide for the number 11, Sam Gallimore, to canter in. Really good vision from Dunn there to find his left winger. And that's Ambrose's 3rd try.
Yeah, that's all done. That is what a fantastic bit of skill. Looks up, sees the defence flying, and then just lifts that ball over. Brilliant pass.
Done.
Nothing the defence can do.
After the kick, after the kick. I'm all right, thank you.
Apologies there, the try scorer was actually Tom Hughes.
Yeah, Shep, let's just do it after the kick. Cheers, mate.
Giving Daldry this chance to convert from the touchline. As you saw there, the wind just...
You started your run up, you can't put it back on the tee. You can't put it back on the tee, no.
Meaning he has to go for a drop goal.
Yeah, he only has 60 seconds on that kick, so as soon as that ball's dropped off, as soon as that ball drops off when he started his run up, he has to take the drop goal. He's not allowed to replace that ball on the kicking tee, as the referee just pointed out to him.
Yes, Pangborne seemed to be a little bit 6 or 7 as to what to do, as to whether they're allowed to run or not, but in the end, Daldry didn't make the conversion. It's been all tries in this match so far.
Take him back.
4 of them in 20 minutes. It's good, good bang for your buck, that. Ingram's captures well. Finds Matthewman, who gets a good pass on to his winger. Picks it up again, though, Matthewman.
Hold blue.
Right, onside.
Two blue away.
Again from the captain, George Edge, going in, stopping him in his tracks.
Change of play, as Costin Pratt seems to like doing. This time he goes back to his number 10, Zach Leonard.
Brilliant pickup from the 15 there, Callum Francis.
Walsh is met by a reception party of 3 Pangborne players.
Tackle and move.
But somehow the little scrum half manages to work a penalty for himself.
5 must get away.
Good brave play from the number 9.
Yeah, Sebastian Byrne there, penalised for not rolling away in that ruck.
So in fits and starts, this match explodes to life and then settles into more of a set-piece thing. But when it does explode to life, my gosh, it's entertaining stuff.
Okay. No, the last 2.
That last try from Hughes, and the way Dunn just looked up, could have put his head down himself. He's a big lad, he could have potentially got over, but knew that there was space on the outside. So Ambrose will maybe look to work something off the line out here if it goes right. It does.
More.
Yeah, I think you can tell that these St Ambrose players have played a lot of matches together. Such unselfish play from a lot of their backs, and their forwards are just a really well-drilled machine so far in this game.
5 out.
And that trundles onwards.
Second you, Ambrose, putting them all down.
For pulling down in the maul.
Shot a goal.
And that looks eminently kickable for Daldry, as long as the ball can stay on the tee. So these, it's been a fast-paced beginning, but there's less than potentially 10 minutes until half-time. So a kick like this would be, well, the first kick of the match for either kicker, but a crucial one to take them more than 10 points ahead.
Yeah, it takes them past 2 scores, doesn't it? Even if they get the 2 kicks. If they score 2 tries, Pangborne and come back. So good decision to take the kick at post. But unfortunately, it's not paid off for him.
22.
It also means, though, that Pangborne have now got a 22 dropout and they're still playing in their half, so not a bad decision at all.
You're behind.
Back to Daldry, the place kicker. He puts it up and under. Matt Atkins underneath that, just outside his 22. Good tackling from St Ambrose. Leonard, though, makes no yards on that. And Dunn steps away. Good offloading again from St Ambrose in tight quarters.
Hold.
And Louis Ingram's just, well, take the ball with you. He looks to drop it. He recollects, though. Ball spills out for St Ambrose. Great chance for them. Illegally done so.
To play it. Blue 7. You're not supporting your weight.
Fire a little bit there. Got away with it somehow.
Yeah, that's a let-off, isn't it, for Pangborne, sorry. They under loads of pressure right outside their line, and then unfortunately it's hands in the ruck and easy kick to touch for the line-out.
So St Ambrose successfully hemming them in. As you say, Natasha, that missed kick meant that they haven't gone back to the centre line. They've had to stay in their 22. When you're in your 22 for a sustained period, do you get more nervous? Do you make more mistakes? Or
I think so, especially in this situation where they're 10 points down early on in the game and they haven't really had any ball to play with. So when they do get the ball, they're just kicking it away because they want to play in the other end of the field. Whereas, in contrast, St Ambrose, as soon as they get the ball, now they're in a really good position. They can just play through the hands and kick the ball back to the opposition.
Indeed, that was Jamie Stalios who sealed that line out. He set this so far 10-metre maul up by Pangborne. At the back, it's with Sebastian Byrne.
Hold.
Box kick from Costin Pratt. Bouncing around the place, and Atkins has recollected that. Good pace from the winger to catch up with it. St Ambrose handle it by getting him into touch. But Callum Francis and his right side winger had their pants pulled down there slightly.
Yeah, slightly out of position in the back three, and you always, as a back three, are told never to let the ball bounce. I mean, the rugby ball's an odd-shaped thing, and every time it bounces, you have no idea where it's going to go. It bounced into the hands of the winger, but fortunately enough for St Ambrose, he was well marshalled and pushed into touch.
Maul.
Edge finds
Sack is good at the front.
In the line-out.
Don't go up the side, stay out now.
Walsh replies with a box kick of his own. Atkins elects not to go himself. A little bit risky for Ingrams, but he did well to clean that up. Now interception though, Daldry. Connor Doherty takes it on.
Tackle, release!
Try and get in on the ball, but they don't manage to. Walsh scratches it.
7 red off your feet.
Pangborne were diving over.
Ball's not out.
Yeah, you just can't touch the scrum half at the back of the ruck, no matter if you think the ball's out sometimes. So he just needs to stay onside there and get back in the defensive line and regain shape with the rest of his team. Here we see him come through. The ball is technically out, but because it's the 9 that's got his hands on about to pass, that's why the penalties come in.
Yeah.
Good attacking opportunity now for St Ambrose just before half-time. Both teams line out driving more has been working well for them, so we'll see what they can do.
Edge is tasked with finding his man first, though.
Maul.
Which he does.
Sack is good.
St Ambrose set off towards Pangborne's line. Ball at the back.
3 red, out you go.
It's with McDonough. And now
7-2 out.
Ambrose don't have any backs left. They're all piling into this maul, putting their eggs in this basket. Is it going to get over the line? It is going to get over the line. Well, Pangborne just now then put in their riposte and have held it up really well.
Scrum red.
It looked like it had great momentum and would get over the line there, but they found some resolve, Pangborne, and held on to it. Crucial that they hold out under this St Ambrose onslaught before half-time. There's about 3 minutes remaining before they go down the tunnel.
Yeah, it's great line-out defence. It's really difficult to stop a driver more, especially when it gets in motion.
When you've got a few backs in there as well, you were saying they don't have much weight, but
yeah,
it's a little bit.
You can see the body positions that are coming in, so because they're so low, and then they manage to get the shove on, whereas St Ambrose team are coming up quite high in that maul, and that's why Pangborne managed to marshal them backwards.
Zach Leonard does well to get out of a hairy situation.
4 hands off, blue.
The number 10 for Pangborne behind his own line when he collected that.
Still there, Ambrose, still there.
And Pangborne somehow find the safety of the touchline, but only until another St Ambrose maul, you suspect.
Yeah, I imagine so. You'll probably see from the setup of them also.
Guys, more time red. Be proactive. Me telling players to get out of the way, please.
Thomas Walsh is dropped back. As you can see here, then the chances are that they're going to drive it. He's actually standing in the 9 position, so it might go from the top. We'll see.
To the front it is. With Connor Booth at the back, peeling off really well, the number 8, and cutting in field. Hitting Zach Leonard, the number 10, and still going as well. Well, he made good ground, but he didn't hold on to the ball. Zach Leonard, that can count as a win for the number 10 there. He did just enough to get his body in the way and dislodge the ball from Connor Booth's hand.
Let's have a look, is he all right?
And with that, Pangborne may have just saved themselves. I say that, but they've still got to get out of the area. That was aggressive running from Booth, but Booth got a little bit excited and didn't manage to hang on to the ball.
I think he was shocked that he was still going, to be honest. He's run over 2 of the Pangborne players, and then he was shocked to see that he was still going towards the try line. And unfortunately for him, he's just lost the ball in contact.
Yes, indeed. I don't think Zach Leonard liked that scene, but he did a good job of getting in the way.
Ball's come straight out the tunnel. Let's go again. Red ball.
Pangborne's back had the creak on there slightly.
Feet's on the floor.
Referee chooses to reset it though. Justin Pratt with the ball in his hands. An explosive beginning from scrum half. We haven't seen so much of him. He's already shown he can turn the game on a sixpence. And not if he doesn't. Struggles with it behind his own line, though. Now, what can he do from behind his line? Kicks it. And Pangborne playing dangerous rugby. Exciting rugby, nonetheless, but probably dangerous as well.
Hold blue.
Inside their own 22. Just minutes before half-time. Still looking
hands
to
off
play.
blue.
Oh, Pangborne College.
4 hands.
Win a penalty from it as well, so fair play to them, but they were dicing with death
on the 5
moments earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. I think a bit of miscommunication. Playing with the ball behind your own try line is always a dangerous game, but they've done really well to come out of it. And then obviously been awarded the penalty. That will take us into half-time.
So you've got to run.
So it'll end 15 points to
You've gone the first
5
time, then you've been cleared off, then you've gone a second time.
St Ambrose College have scored 3 tries to Pangborne's 1, and they've played brilliant rugby in doing so. So have Pangborne, to be fair. One incredible try, one incredible solo try from James Costin-Pratt, the number 9 for Pangborne, and Kieran Dunn, Connor Doherty have returned their tries for St Ambrose as well. So we'll show you some of those tries when we can. But first half, it was an explosive beginning. First 20 minutes were everywhere. And St Ambrose, they looked initially to have been a bit shell-shocked, a bit taken by the occasion, but they came back in with that first try in the corner down by our left. And seemingly after that, could score whenever they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, they're back to look on fire at the moment, and as I alluded to earlier, the forwards look really fired up for the game. I think they're getting the upper hand in the forward exchanges. They're making good ground. The rucks are quick. The 9, Tom Walsh, is there all the time to move the ball quickly, and just some really unselfish backs play. The timing on the pass has been absolutely fantastic for them, and that's the main difference between the two at the moment. I don't think we've really seen Pangborne's backs in action at all, and when the forwards have had their ball, it's tended to be a pick and go around the corner, so you can't really ever generate any quick ball from that.
So we'll look at that first try which we spoke about from Kieran Dunn. It came all from Tom Walsh's break. Brilliant burst up the middle from the scrum half.
Yeah, brilliant break, and then you saw he had ball under one arm as he was running, and then when he saw he wasn't going to get through, it's back into 2 to cause that indecision from the defence, and then just the timing on the pass from both the 9 and then the player that joins him. Fantastic. See how he transfers the ball into 2 hands here, gets the pass away, juggled a little bit, which I think potentially halted the defence, and then a great finish, just backing himself into the corner. Great finish by Kieran Dunn there.
And this was a piece of solo brilliance from James Costin-Pratt.
Yeah, you see step off the right initially, and then just acceleration off the left, and he just fully backs himself. There's nobody stopping him before that try line. Great little one-handed offload, one-handed pickup, and then offload into the hands of his whippy little 9, and then he's just gone. Nobody can touch him.
You score tries like this for fun then, Natasha, from number 9, don't you?
Sometimes.
This was another St Ambrose score from Kieran Dunn, again in the corner. First try on the left-hand corner, second try on the right-hand corner.
Again, he's got his backs to thank for this one. Just running straight, that slight shimmy from his inside man just holds up the defender again, and then you're not going to catch somebody with pace like that 6-7 metres out. Brilliant. And he's gifting one to his winger now. Not totally selfish, this boy. Passing it over to Gallimore, who just trots in over the corner, tackled over the line, but still manages to get the ball down.
Yes, had he had a goal scorer in football's mentality, he could have had a hat-trick by now, but showed a range of skills in getting that pass over to his winger as well, and showing to be quite a candidate for man of the match already. You wouldn't want to, as we saw in the last match, anything can happen in second halves change on a sixpence, but certainly an impressive opening 35 minutes from Kieran Dunn.
Yeah, definitely. Kieran Dunn, and also we've got to mention George Edge. I mean, his line-out work, he missed his first one, and then to get his head back in the game, and he's hit everyone since then. Brilliant. But also his tackling and his work around the field has been fantastic. Counter-rucking, he's making a nuisance of himself in there, and his tackling, he's knocking people back for fun. So fantastic first half from that man.
Yes, as both sides are now on the pitch in their huddles again. Pangborne, interestingly, have split into 2 huddles, presumably backs and forwards. Certainly one of those huddles looks distinctly smaller in sizes than the other one, so you presume that's the backs. Whereas St Ambrose are ready for the off, lined up in their positions. That's the only way really to treat a cold February day, is just to get on with it.
Definitely. You can see the mentality that they're all set, ready to go. 10's on the ball early. Pangborne is still walking around checking water bottles. We'll see who starts this next half the best.
So word on the number 10, Jacob Daldry for St Ambrose. Didn't have so much luck with his kicks, but he showed himself to have real vision out of hand and able to pop up at the right time and deliver a key pass.
Definitely, he seems to be pulling the strings for them at the moment. He's had a really good first half as well.
For a goal kicker, though, you always want to kick your goals. It's your strike rate you want to tick over, isn't it?
Definitely. Although one of our coaches used to say it was the added extras, and we should never expect that.
So the action returns at Allianz Park in the second half of this NatWest Schools Cup Vase competition semi-final. The first semi-finalist has already been selected. That'll be Northampton School for Boys after their victory against Bloxham School earlier today. And it's all to play for here for the second spot at Twickenham, of course. St Ambrose start really well. Zipping past there from Walsh.
Oh, what a great kick that is. Well. Jacob Daldry with his head up there, and they had 3 players in the backfield in that position, and he still manages to hit the ground and roll it into touch. Fantastic bit of skill from the number 10.
And it means after having been under pressure in that towards that end of the second half under their posts, Pangborne return at the other end under their posts. They have a new man on as well who will be throwing in, Adam Harris, the number 17. Quite a vote of confidence from a coach to throw a new person into the mix at half-time to change things up. Sure, he'll be fired up to show what he can do.
Definitely, and you never know how difficult that selection was in the first instance. So potentially these two have been battling all season against each other.
Indeed, Pangborne's season in general, they've played a lot of games themselves, and they've actually lost 9 of them, won 10 of them before this match. So it's been an indifferent season. In the cup, they've played really well, come into their own, but they've not had it all their own way at all during this season. Makes this fixture even more crucial for them. This second half even more crucial, so they can get back in it. And they won't do it like that, losing their line out 10 metres from their line. St Ambrose have a chance to strike early in the second half.
They've managed to turn that one over. Great bit of work on the floor.
Yeah, great play from Pangborne's scrapping defence. Good take from Francis. Hands on to Daldry, to Dunn, to Doherty. Now on to Tom Hughes, who scored a try in the first half.
Well tackled from Vaughan over in that corner.
St Ambrose happy to rumble up the forwards, put it up the jumper. They've got to get warm after the break from the second half after all, so the forwards take it on. Walsh. Now Daldry, fly halves, slips out of one tackle and powers forward. A little bit scrappy, Walsh can't take it. Advantage being, ball went backwards actually, so Dunn now has to tidy it up. Tackled really well there from Pangborne's number 6, Thomas Booth. And a few afters as well. Did boil over slightly in the first game of the day. In the second half, a few fisticuffs in front of the fans. Nothing too malicious, but tempers can raise as the match ticks down.
Yeah, especially when it's a really tight encounter and so much at stake. Playing at Twickenham, what an unbelievable thing at the end of this game, so you can understand why they might get a little bit heated out there. Yeah,
important to bear in mind, it's probably, for many of these players, the biggest games of their lives so far. Many of them may go on to many bigger games, but many may not, so the notion of taking your chance is probably at the forefront of all their minds.
Undoubtedly.
Walsh, he's played really well so far, spinning out of that tackle. Good play from the number 9. Boshing a flanker in his wake as well. Now his forwards take it on, continuing that momentum which their scrum half has given them. And Natasha, we saw there, perhaps the first time, Tom Walsh giving a little bit of talk back to the referee and getting the decision in his way. I'm sure you'll be pleased to see that. Yeah, always pleased to see the referee making good decisions around the base of the ruck. It's a really difficult one to referee, especially when there's loads of bodies involved there. So, yeah, nice to see. To use your phrase, it's an extra pair of eyes, as that's what every scrum half provides. Only at the right times, though, obviously, Jack. So the upshot is Daldry has a chance to get his first kick of the game. He's had a few from this sort of range, but they haven't gone his way. He's had a few tricky ones as well. This time with the wind with him, he does put it through the post. So, first points from the tee for Daldry. And that takes the score to 18 points to 5 from St Ambrose. It's looking good for the Manchester-based side. But Pangborne, as they showed in parts in this game, they have the ability to get back at them, but it's just putting it all together. And if you give that man too much of the ball, then you're going to be in trouble. Walsh, brilliant take from that scrum half, spinning out of a tackle and finding the best man for it, one of his forwards. Great play by Crossan there to stay in field. He was being pushed out towards the touchline, but good strength from that man and great leg drive. Yeah, Crossan has been an industrious foil to Walsh. We may have focused on the scrum half, but his forwards have put in a shift so far. Always the way the scrum half normally gets the credit, where the forwards don't. You get a lot of stick for that. That tends to be the status quo in rugby, doesn't it? Forwards earn the money and the backs spend it. I've heard that said a lot of times. I would certainly agree to that as a former member of the pack. Scrum spins around though, and Pangborne will reset. So Pangborne, sorry, they've made a few changes early in the first half. Brought a new hooker on. What else can they do? They've been given their team talk at half-time by their head coach, David Metcalf, no doubt. So it's up to the players on the pitch. Yeah, I think it would be nice to see them running a bit more with the ball in hand. Since St Ambrose defence, they've dropped at least 3 back most time that they're defending, especially when they're further up in the tackle by Blue. It would be good to see them coming back and running that ball and taking advantage of the numbers that they have. Great drive then, making good ground. Good line as well there, but St Ambrose lined him up.
Out, get out! Advantage, four-side entry.
Penalty advantage, but they all play on as
playing penalty advantage, red.
Extra yards he was given. And all of a sudden, Pangborne bring play towards the left. Costin Pratt finds Leonard, who now brings play to the right.
Advantage.
Little chip through. Could be a really good chip through. Doesn't quite work out. And they'll come all the way back.
Coming back here.
For the penalty. Well, they're listening to you, Natasha. They're trying things.
They just need a little bit more composure. I mean, it was really on to go right then, but because everybody swung round to go left, sorry, everybody in the Pangborne team swung round, so then it brings all of the St Ambrose defence, whereas if they just held, I think they'd have been on with the few numbers that they did have.
Make sure we're 10.
As we see it here, so really good forward carry, making good ground, sucking them in, and then you see in the back corner all of the St Ambrose defence coming around because every one of the Pangborne teammates have come as well. Good little spot from the 10 though, and a good little kick through, just a shame about the bounce.
It was Cameron Golby-Barr who was chasing onto that, and the bounce of the ball just didn't go his way.
22.
Doesn't put that through the post. Zach Leonard from in front. He's missed it.
Yeah, he's really disappointed with that. You can see it in his face. Unfortunately, that wind might just be too strong in that corner.
Yes, he had to have his inside centre Tom Hills hold it down for him, but even so, I think he still should have probably got that, and he'll probably be feeling worst of all. Anyway, they're still on the attack, Pangborne.
Move 13.
Will Vaughan, outside centre, getting his hands on the ball. Good pick up from Leonard there, and good hands as well onto Ingrams. Big hand off. Costin Pratt onto Thomas Booth.
St Ambrose just making a mess of every single breakdown. It's absolutely tiresome for the Pangborne team because they have to work so hard to try and generate any quick ball. Ambrose forwards are just all over them at the minute.
Fantastic energy at the breakdown. Yeah.
Once.
Absolutely. They may even have turned that one over. Not quite. Pangborne going forward.
Oh no, it is.
They have turned it over.
Taken in by red, blue scrum.
I think he also detected a hint of the big arena in Zach Leonard's kicking routine there. Following on from Dan Bigger's kicking style for Wales. Well, he is wearing a red shirt, so it would be appropriate.
Crouch.
He's youngsters, the idol isn't Danny Wilkinson anymore.
Bind.
Shaky Dan Bigger.
Set.
Ready! 1, 2, 1, 2.
Daldry finds a good kick, and Ingrams has to go back. He probably wanted that one to go out, but he does really well with it. Still going as well, not held. Powerful run from Ingrams. Booth, though, gets knocked back. Blindside flanker was met by a reception committee of Ambrose players, well-organised Ambrose players, but they're still playing. Cameron Golby-Barr escapes the tackles on the right-hand side. This is a great run from the right winger. Cuts in field. Gets the offload as well to Will Vaughan, who scores under the post. And he knows how important that could be. Pangborne are back in it.
You can see why Cameron Golby-Barr has been in the London Scottish Academy, can't you? Fantastic bit of play from the winger. Really opened up on the right-hand side, and then had the intelligence to step back in, take out two defenders, and get the one-handed offload away. Brilliant piece of skill.
And Will Vaughan, great support lines.
That's why it's so important to keep going. Just a missed tackle on the end, and then clean set of heels, steps back in, draws two, and a great offload.
Great for Will Vaughan to know that from about 15 metres out, he knew he was in. Quite a feeling scoring between the sticks at Allianz Park, and he certainly enjoyed that one.
Yeah, you can see how much it meant to him when he got up. The ball slammed straight back into the turf. Good to see.
And that time Leonard does convert, making the score 12 points to 18, 6-point deficit now.
So important
for that.
So important as well that he's gone under the sticks there with Vaughan, because we've seen how crucial the missed kicks have been, and that could play a really important part. 6 points in it, so if they get another converted try, that could be them in the lead.
Exactly, it does reduces your options, doesn't it? Now you know you've just got to get a try and get it as close to the sticks as you can. So we'll just see the proof that that conversion was made by Zach Leonard. Good slot from him, given that he missed one from a similar position moments earlier. Nice to get that monkey off his back. Back to the action, George Edge for St Ambrose finds his man once again. And
use it!
Determined to put Pangborne back into their 22.
Ask you to use it, rebound on.
Momentum swung, hasn't it? Momentum to Pangborne.
Let's get loud, let's get proud, let's go!
So many thanks for everyone joining us on social media. Katie Rimmer watching us, supporting Pangborne, tweeting us your thoughts. Make sure you support your team. Hashtag NatWest Schools Cup.
Straight out the tunnel, same scrum.
And Pangborne, well, they're back in it. They really are. 6 points now. Having looked a little bit out of ideas after St Ambrose had, well, taken the game by the scruff of the neck, really, with Daldry's first penalty of the match. Pangborne responded and
set.
They have to get another one, but it's the first step. And if they're going to do it, that man who is at number 9, Costin Pratt, will probably be a part of it. Scored a fantastic individual try in the first half. Ingram's, though, not such a good clearance kick from him that time.
No, he's just snapped at that kick. Instead of following through like he normally does, he's just come around it. And unfortunately for him, it's just gone just outside the 22, line out now to St Ambrose, which has been quite strong all game.
Good mark there.
So Edge, the captain for the day for St Ambrose, leads by example. Precision throw. And the ball's already at the back for Connor Booth.
Full on bind, please,
just to let his forwards do the hard work and benefit from them now. Gives it, well, keeps it going. Sees a gap.
Blue.
And they go blind as well. Big tackle, though, from Pangborne. Penalty to St Ambrose for pulling that maul down. It was seemingly the only way to deal with it. It was trundling off at quite a rate towards the line. And this way, they've only given away a penalty. But Daldry wants to make them have to try and stop it again.
Number 2.
Despite the scuff kick, it's still a very handy field position.
Pulling it down at the maul. He needs to keep it up.
Interesting kick to the corner. I don't think Sam Gallimore knew that he could have just stopped that ball there.
Brilliant.
Watches it bounce into touch.
Red, make sure we stay on the line, guys.
Yes, it's got to stay lively on a cold day like this, but anyway, it's straight down. Interesting move at the front of the line out. And they switch the point of contact at the back.
Get out!
It's the number 7, Force Ambrose, who goes over the line. Ben Hughes, the scorer. So simple, and yet so effective.
Oh, they're an incredibly well-drilled side, aren't they? I mean, lifting at the back, all of the Pangborne forwards are focused on that, and then just a really sleight of hand little pop down to the forward pod, who immediately set up that drive. Brilliant bit of play. Here we see them go up. Great bit of play. They're already preset, so they've got 2 players around him, protecting him, and then the speed of the rest of the forwards to get in on that drive. There's no way they can stop it with body positions that high.
Despite the big units in Pangborne's pack, they didn't get low enough there at all. And St Ambrose show what you can do if you just get low and drive.
Really difficult kick, especially in these conditions. Let's see if he can put these between the posts. It's a great strike. And off the crossbar.
Unlucky for Daldry. Really, really good strike. Just not quite enough laces on it. So that leaves the scores at 23 points to 12 for St Ambrose. They've replied immediately to Pangborne, who looked like they got themselves back in the game what they had, now having to face a 9-point deficit again. And Walsh immediately gets the ball away. Good little kick.
That's exactly what you don't want to do from the Pangborne players.
15 red,
straight down the 9, and he's clearing it back over the halfway.
Yes, they have picked out Tom Walsh and kicked to him quite a lot from the kickoffs. Earlier they did the same thing, and he skipped out of a couple of tackles. He may be small, but he's not someone you want to be giving too much ball to, if any.
No. There you see the conversion again, straight off the crossbar.
Time back on.
Unlucky Daldry.
Off the top then for Pangborne. They look to run it straight off with Leonard.
Shrugs off the tackle and he's gone straight through.
Good play from Tom Hills.
Good job, John.
Away 6!
Pratt looks to snipe. But they've clocked him now, St Ambrose. They're keeping an eye on their number.
Move, tackler.
Was number 9. So, brings it a little bit laterally away, does Jake Easton.
Ruck! Just push.
Now we go a little bit more direct. Matthewman.
Tackle!
This is better from Pangborne, getting the phases together and getting a bit more quick ball off those rucks.
Play on!
Playing off the floor, Pangborne, and this is how their try recently came from, just keeping the ball alive as much as possible.
Option,
This time
Matt.
the ball ends up in touch though.
Guys, knock on into touch. Option blue, scrum or line out.
Yeah, it's gone a bit frantic for them. They just need to settle, keep hold of the ball when they've got it and play through the phases.
Not a good time now, just scrum. I'll come find you next, yeah.
As you can hear the fans on the far side starting to really cheer for both sides. St Ambrose seemingly have a couple of drummers up in the stands as well.
Crouch!
Pangborne! Set!
Bind! Stand up, guys. We haven't got to bind this side. We haven't got to bind this side.
We're over on that side. There'll be fans all the way around the stadium.
I'm not going to let it start.
They seem like it
Let's
is.
go again, guys. Same again. Set up, seconds in.
Yeah, that's all they need to spur them on. A little bit of home support, get behind them.
Bind!
Yeah, it's a fantastic day for everyone involved in the family, isn't it? Seeing your son or your brother play at Allianz Park, pretty cool.
It's gone through the 45.
Playing
Same.
Twickenham would be even cooler, of course, and that's what awaits both sides, or one of the sides who wins this match. At the moment, St Ambrose look to have 1 foot in that final with their lead.
9 blue, down the middle for me.
15 minutes approximately remaining.
Crouch!
It's down to Pangborne to see what they can shake up.
Bind! Set!
Ball doesn't go incorrect from Walsh, though. The scrum will have to be reset again.
Just gone straight back out the
Walsh is
tunnel. Let's
blaming
go
the
again.
scrum for that, not his feed.
It's never, ever a scrum half's fault.
He's a true scrum.
What are your thoughts on the footwear of both scrum halves? Tasha, flashy boots?
Yeah, you've got to go flashy nowadays, haven't you? I mean, I'm a black boot kind of girl. I've got all black at the moment, but I have had the odd white boot, so whatever's in, I think that's the thing, isn't it? Especially with these schoolboys.
Particularly if you're in this cup semi-final, perhaps.
Oh, great pickup.
Really good, and Pangborne attack away. Matt Atkins,
Scrum advantage.
the number 11 there, but they eventually get pulled into touch.
Just a scrum advantage.
Be St
Knock on by
Ambrose ball.
blue playing it.
Knock on
Red scrum.
came from St Ambrose, so
Gone for the
it is
ball,
now
knocked it on.
Pangborne's ball.
12,
thank you. 12.
Yeah, Pangborne, they sort of cast off the shackles in the second half a bit, and trying to just play from any scenario. 9 points down, it's probably what they need to do.
Definitely, they just need to get ball in hand and just run at them. They have looked dangerous with ball in hand. They have looked like they can score, so hopefully we'll see what happens in the next 10 minutes.
Maul!
So St Ambrose cheering their man who Daldry was at the bottom of that.
9.
It's impressive work from the fly half, getting his hands dirty on the floor.
Yeah, they seem to be targeting that choke tackle. So as they're running in, if any of the Pangborne players are going in too high, they're just coming in numbers and holding them up. Obviously, if you can't get the ball back, as soon as the maul's called, then it's just a turnover and scrum to the opposition. Good tactics from St Ambrose.
Ball She has to dig for it at the bottom and spins away. Little chip over as well from the scrum half. Covered by Pangborne. Ball pops up though. And St Ambrose recollect. Coming through is Dunn, Kieran Dunn. Offload out the back though. Doesn't go to hand, and Pangborne keep it. Bring it away through Matthewman. And Golby Bar now. But the referee will call them back for a forward pass there. Despite being close to their line, they're still willing to give it a go, Pangborne. And Golby Bar, given the way he set up the try earlier for Will Vaughan.
14, you need time off.
Of him anyway. Powerful runner. Yeah. And he's just having to now get some treatment on the floor on the far hand left side of your screen.
Come across the chat over here.
We'll have a bit of time off while the medics see to him there.
Do you want to see my captain? Do you want to see the captain as well?
St Ambrose seemingly just manoeuvring their pieces into the right place to seal this match, Natasha.
That one there.
Yeah, and as we mentioned earlier, the 21-20 win that they did have earlier on in the competition, I think will stand them in good stead.
For both sides, yeah. You're right.
Just that thing just over there, is it cool if I say now? They're once the tackle's made, they're still playing slightly on the ground.
Okay,
Can you keep
an eye? Sure, yeah. Time back on.
So again, a little bit more advice from the players to the referee.
Yeah, just asking them to watch out for not releasing on the ground.
Bind.
I haven't seen much of it myself, but if you're out there and you feel like that, then you have to obviously deal with what's in front of you.
What's in front of Tom Walsh is a scrum going backwards, but it doesn't matter too much as he feeds his back line, and St Ambrose come careering through the middle of Pangborne's defence. Kieran Dunn, playmaker in chief, goes to his number 8, and in the far-hand corner the ball spills over, and just a knock-on. Good play though from Connor Booth, almost out of the tackle, got it onto his wingers outside him. But again, Kieran Dunn, central to that piece and central to that piece of play. Didn't quite work that time, but he has had a super game, hasn't he, Kieran Dunn? And not trying to lead you into anything, but Natasha, in a minute, you can let us know your thoughts on man of the match and how that will play out. Still, of course, 10 minutes of rugby to play, and Pangborne are by no means out of this at all.
Bind. Set.
Matthewman skips out of one tackle, does really well in front of his own line, does the number 8 there.
Fantastic body position
hands
from the number 8. Oh, but the ref said hands on the floor first. So unfortunately, the penalty goes against him.
Could that have been from the player for asking the referee about it, Natasha?
Potentially, but it was Pangborne that were asking for not releasing, and that penalty was, I think, from the signal for hands on the floor. Obviously, you can't go past the ball before you come on it. If you're going to go for a turnover, you have to go straight onto the ball. So the referees are really hot on that at the minute.
So Adam Harris throws in, and Pangborne's line out is now functioning perfectly. All the first part was, the second part not so much, as St Ambrose did manage to disrupt it.
Blue, you're there.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's just been lost in the more. They had a really good setup. They were really tight around that ball, and then for whatever reason, it's just been lost.
Right, listen. Yeah, you stay down. You get the ball in quicker for me.
So the new man on, well, Adam Harris, he started the second half, not so new anymore. Number 17 for Pangborne will be, after a bit of pressure from St Ambrose, looking to get this cleanly to the back of the maul. Does so well. Costin Pratt to Leonard.
Play on.
To the new man on at the back for Pangborne. Chris Batchelor boots that downfield. Bounces around, and Tom Walsh has juggled it. Golby Bar picks it up.
Open play,
and the ball Now switches to St Ambrose players. Kieran Dunn hands off a couple of Pangborne players and goes right round the outside on Atkins. Good tackle by Atkins. Good hands, excellent hands. Forward hands, unfortunately, for St Ambrose. That looks like a deft bit of play as Conor Doherty head off towards the line, but
guys, using expletives will not get you
pulled
penalties.
back actually for a forward pass, which in reflection it probably was.
Yeah, great bit of play again from that man, Kieran Dunn. He's had a fantastic game.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
So Dunn obviously at the fore in that piece of play again. He's had a super game. Would you pick him as your man of the match overall, Natasha, or?
I think at the moment there's quite a few that are in contention for it. I mean, Tom Walsh has had a fantastic game in the number 9 shirt. He's been everywhere in the backfield for them and made some really good breaks. Forwards-wise, I've been very impressed with Alex Oakes, the number 1, George Edge and Kieran Booth. I think they've all carried really, really well. All of these, obviously, for St Ambrose. So there are a few players to highlight. I mean, on the opposition team, Matthew Munn, he's played a really good game. Cameron Goldie-Barr has run really well when he's had ball in hand.
As Tom Walsh goes down the right-hand touchline, a super individual score from Tom Walsh. What squeezes in at the far-hand touchline, the scrum half. He's had a super game, and that caps a wonderful performance from him. So St Ambrose, fantastic out-the-back tackle that, and Tom Walsh just head off, stripped out Will Atkins, and then stripped off his opposite man, James Costin-Pratt, who did the same to him in that corner in the first half, remember. So wonderful riposte from Tom Walsh.
Well, when I left, it was sunny, it was colder, it was cool, but it wasn't as cold as here.
And Tom.
Shep, Tony comes off for me. Guys, grade 11. Guys, number 8.
So 12 points now Pangborne have, and it's 28 points to St Ambrose. That fantastic score from Tom Walsh has sealed things. As we have a couple of minutes remaining to play. It's all academical now. It will be St Ambrose going through to the next round. Pangborne keen to make amends for that last try and see if they can end on a high. Tom Hill's number 12 there. Aggressive run from him. They certainly won't give up. James Costin-Pratt. Leonard, bit of basketball out there, but nice. On to Tom Hills. On to Will Vaughan, sorry.
Comes off. Tackle and move! Hands off! Hands off, boys!
Pangborne do have a penalty there for their efforts, and James Costin-Pratt takes it quickly. Great feat, this number 9. Doesn't throw a good pass, though, and Zach Leonard has to clear up.
Number, please.
And St Ambrose delightfully latch onto him and try and drive him back.
Never 10.
And Pangborne and St Ambrose forwards, as they just separate, decide to push each other a little bit. Now, Pangborne, they can't win the match from this position. So no point for points, and they set up a tap-and-go move. Straight and true, running there from Finn Slevin.
Good defence, body on the line, tackling from St Ambrose, and great attacking play. Good leg drive from Pangborne. Good rugby.
Leonard on to Will Vaughan. Goldie-Barr was lurking outside him.
Tackle!
Pangborne have options both sides of the ruck, and they choose to go through Tom Hills. Costin Pratt darts for the line. Saw a little bit of space. It really did open up from there, but
yeah, that
not enough as they do push over, though. Ball seems to be still in play. Bodies all over it. Costin Pratt dives on it.
Hands off!
But St Ambrose are putting their bodies on the line as well. Desperate not to let Pangborne cross again.
Fantastic defence from St Ambrose. The guards are really tight, the low body positions, ready to drive, very aware around that breakdown the ball. The only opportunity really is to go.
Sam Turner.
That's lost forward.
Just.
First by red.
So knock-on is the adjudicated in the end. Incredible defence from St Ambrose. Pangborne, by all accounts, should have scored that. And as we just confirm, our man of the match today, Thomas Walsh, the number 9, he's played superbly. Set up the first try with a wonderful run, and that set
5 red, 7 red.
The tone for the rest of the match, and obviously rounded it off with that fantastic score in the corner, outstripping his opposite man. And gets a slap on the back as well from his forwards for his efforts.
Yeah, not only his running game, but also his passing game. He's been so quick to the breakdown every time, and he's just really kept the ball alive. He's moved them Pangborne defence around, and he's kept them really aware around the fringes as well. So brilliant play from that man, and very well deserved man of the match.
Time back on. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Ready, one.
So Pangborne do get a squeeze on at the scrum. But Walsh and his fly half partner, Jacob Dulger, worked for Dulger as well. He's played very well. Obviously had a good ride from Tom Walsh, but
9 and 11
he's had to control things well from number 10.
Oh, he's controlled the game fantastically
Number
well.
11 blue.
Yeah, I didn't mention him earlier, which is a mistake because he has had a fantastic game. He's kicked really, really well, but he's also released the backs when he's needed to, and he's got the right people on the ball at the right time. So brilliant play from him.
Time back on. Yes, you are.
One last chance, perhaps, then for Pangborne to get on the score sheet. Well, get a third try if they can. St Ambrose, they don't let up, do they? Turning that ball over.
No, they don't. You would not want to see that man flying at you from the back of the lineup, but he's done that all game, and he's marshalled Costin Pratt really, really well. I'm sure they'd have looked at him as a main man to target.
A couple of scrum hats go flying on the near side, but Pangborne play on. Leonard drops the ball to the ground, and Tom Hills has to pick up. He's played well in difficult circumstances as Pangborne's inside centre. And those difficult circumstances are mainly Ambrose's aggressive defence. They're coming through the ruck.
They're so well drilled around that ruck. You can see the defensive line is completely set the whole time. As soon as that ball's touched by the scrum half, they're just coming up in numbers, and there's not a lot you can do. Brilliant play. Fantastic pass in there.
They keep playing Pangborne, but despite some deft hands there, it does go to ground, and St Ambrose will think that'll be it, but it all spills over a little bit on the 22 line.
Away. Guys, that is time.
And the referee does call it to an end. It's been an exhilarating display of rugby by St Ambrose College. They've scored 5 tries and they've won 28 points to 12. Pangborne College were, in truth, outplayed and outclassed in the back division. They certainly gave their going, and they provided some great moments as well. A couple of their tries, particularly the one from James Costin Pratt to begin with, was fantastic. But it will be St Ambrose College who advance to the final against Northampton School for Boys. That'll be at Twickenham. And Natasha, if you were to have to pick one of those sides from what we've seen today, who would you think will have the nudge on when it gets to HQ?
I think the start is going to be vital for both of them. Whoever starts strongest, both teams that started strongest went on to win the game for both respective games today. But just St Ambrose, watching that performance, they seem like a really well-oiled machine. Everyone is on the same page, everyone knows what they're doing, and their defence is just so strong. They're on their feet constantly, they're making a mess of the breakdown all of the time. So I think if I had to pick one right now, if you put me on the spot, it would definitely be St Ambrose.
There you go, well, mate, and thanks to Natasha Hunt for calling this one with us, and we will be back for, there are of course still 2 more games today. They will be happening, they're in the Cup, they're in the NatWest Cup, and before we get to them, we'll give you, of course, the highlights of the tries in this one, as we see St Ambrose just make a tunnel for their opponents. Always a fun moment for a match, the tunnel, isn't it? Good chance for a bit of banter and grabbing your opposite number. Yeah, definitely, and especially for us, we play against the same people all of the time, so you get to know people quite well, so it's nice to have a bit of camaraderie as you come off. So you can see the faces of the Pangborne College boys. They've had a good season. They've had a very good season, and haven't ended up on the right side this time, losing by 12 points to 28. St Ambrose College advance, and they will advance, as we were saying, against Northampton School for Boys. But and Northampton School for Boys will have watched this with eagle eyes, having seen how well St Ambrose played. We'll show you just how well, with highlights of their tries. So it all started with our man of the match, Tom Walsh, with this one. Yeah, and juggled it really well, didn't he? As we've said, yeah, he's juggled it. He's held the defence, and then brilliant bit of play. Get the ball, tuck it under your arm, and just go for the corner, head down, backing yourself completely. Such a good change of pace the scrum half has. It's the thing that does the defence over the most, that instant change of pace or change of direction, and he's done that all game long. And this was a wonderful moment as well. The step inside from Costin Pratt, the step outside, little handoff in there as well. Yeah, there was no way he was ever passing that ball. As soon as he gets the ball in his hand, he's just going for the try line. He backs himself again, ball under one arm, and he's just gone. Fantastic bit of individual brilliance. Fantastic to have that on your highlights reel as well. Yeah. And here we see just the class of the backs, the handling. I mean, the fullback, the wings have been relatively quiet today, but when this has been called upon them, they've just given the ball at exactly the right time, which is brilliant to see, and that's what makes a really good team performance. And Kieran Dunn, of course, that man scoring the try, involved in this one heavily with some great vision here. Yeah, just heads up rugby. He's not even going to the line that hard, but because he's got his head up, he's interested in the defence with the ball in 2 hands, and then the weight of the pass is just absolutely brilliant. You're not going to get much easier tries as a winger than that. This is arguably one of the best tries of the game. Just a real breakthrough, missed tackle on the edge. He'll be disappointed about that, but he steps back in to interest all of these defenders. If he doesn't cut back in there, then he'll probably be marshalled as soon as he passes the ball across to Vaughan. So he does really well, and he really creates this for Vaughan. If he just carries on going straight, Vaughan's also going to be tackled by the next man, but Walsh has to come in on the tackle, and then Vaughan's clear through. And then not to be outdone by the backs, the forwards, brilliant try. Catch at the back, pop down to the front, and then really well worked more. And this perhaps the best of the lot from Tom Walsh. Out and out pace. Yeah, out and out pace, and also a nice couple of handoffs there as well on his opposite number. A worthy winner of our man of the match, Tom Walsh there. So from us here at Allianz Park, we will be back in a second, in about 15 minutes or so. And
I'm here with Paul Rush, who is the first 15 coach of St Ambrose College. And Paul, congratulations, it's been a terrific day for you and your team.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, very pleased. We played really well. It was a tough game, especially in the first half, but I think we controlled the second half, so it was pleasing to come out with a win. Yeah.
And you must have had very nervous players coming into this one.
Yes, last night was a bit anxious, but I thought they were okay today. You know, they seemed to get up. They were quite happy this morning. We didn't see much evidence of nerves, so they did very well. They handled themselves really well.
Great display from Tom Walsh as well, your man of the match.
Yes, Tom's been full-back all year, but we've moved him up to scrum half. He's really sharp. He's only a 5th former, so he's got a couple of years to go, but the clubs are looking at him, and he played for England last year, so he's an excellent player. Yeah.
Only a fifth form, I mean, that's a lot of pressure to handle.
Absolutely, at scrum half, but we've got a few of them there. We've got the winger, you know, the number 8, and we've got one more as well. The fifth form are great. We've needed them this year, and we've had other lads step in as well. So it's a good age group, so we should be okay for the next 2 years.
Well, obviously, their players, despite being quite young, can handle the pressure, and they've got another big day out to come on the 16th of March at Twickenham. Yes,
I mean, I think that'll be very tough. We watched the first semi-final. There was nothing in it, obviously, ending 2020. But we look forward to that, yes. You know, it'd be nice to be at Twickenham. It'd be first time for all the lads, really. So, yeah, can't wait.
And a very spirited display from your opponents, Pangborne, as well.
Oh, they were really good. Yes, really sharp. Scrum half was very good. Okay, the winger had a great run, a couple of really good tries against us. So, yeah, to hold them out to 2 tries was very good.
Well, Paul, I'll leave you to go and celebrate with your team. Congratulations to you and to St Ambrose College.
Thank you very much, Ollie. Okay, see you at Twickenham.
Well, the words there of the first 15 head coach from St Ambrose, a very happy first 15 head coach. They've won 28 points to 12, and they are through to the final of the NatWest Schools Cup Vase competition. There they will meet Northampton Schools for boys in the next round. But that's for the next round. From here, we'll be back with the next half of our coverage today, which is the 2 semi-finals of the NatWest Schools Cup proper. From us, I'll say goodbye. We'll be handing over to Sam Howard and Tom Edwards to talk you through the afternoon's action. But Natasha, thank you very much for joining us in the gantry, and we look forward to seeing you again up here one day as well. Best of luck in Rio in the meantime.
Thanks ever so much. Thanks for having me, Jack.
So from us, thanks very much. We'll be back in 15 minutes.